Nice. We are back. Laidout show. We've got a couple of special guests today. We've got Zee Akbar and Amaar Akbar. Boys, how you doing?
Yeah, right.
No, good. Thanks for taking the time to come on. Do you want to give the audience a little introduction to yourselves?
My name's Amaar Akbar. I'm a professional boxer, just signed with Frank Warren.
I'm his dad and his coach. We're from Dewsbury. I run a boxing gym. It's Warrior Breed Boxing Gym. It's an amateur club.
Mm-hmm.
Been running since 2014. I had a lot of success, a lot of champions in amateur league, and he's my first pro. So I do everything. I look after him. You name it, I do it. Yeah.
Nice. When did you start boxing, Amaar?
I've been doing kind of boxing, mixed martial arts, like really since a really young age, because obviously my uncles and my dad used to like train. But I've always been around it. I started taking boxing seriously at the age of about 13. I started competing amateur at 14.
Okay.
So yeah, I've done quite well as an amateur. I won 2 national titles, got to 2 national finals, 6-time Yorkshire champ over 2018, Yorkshire belt holder. I won two box cup goals. I represented England twice. So really everything I want to do as an amateur, I did as an amateur, yeah.
Nice. And the one thing that we found when we spoken to fighters that have been like had an amateur background like that is you come across a lot of other fighters that are turning pro. Yeah. Like is there any fighters that you were matched up with that people might know?
As a pro?
No, since you were in the amateurs, like did you come across fighting any names that we'd be aware of?
Sparring wise, I don't know about amateur boxing wise, but obviously Jimmy, I think you've had him on the show before. Darren Tetley, I've boxed. I've sparred David Avanesian.
Okay,
he's like world level. We're gonna fight Josh Kelly, Tyrone Nurse.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Josh Warrington. Well, Jack Cottrell. So really, I've sparred like everyone since.
Nice.
Really everyone like England.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you turned pro, and you signed with Frank Warren. So can you give us a bit of background on that story, how that came about, and all that?
I mean, I was just mentioning earlier. I think we were still amateur, and last year he got to finals of the elites. So we thought we're gonna give it another year, 2019, 2019. So we were getting ready for elite championships, and they actually started, but because he got in final, you were gonna start at quarterfinal stage.
Okay.
So, and then all of a sudden, lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what do we do now? And it was gutting. It was heartbreaking, but there was some light at the end of the tunnel because he got a phone call from someone who whether they've been watching him or whether and we kind of knew this fella, knows Amaar through Facebook and social media, and he rang us up. He says, what you doing with yourself? Send me what you doing in the amateurs, and let's see what we can do with Frank Warren. And I'm thought, nah, come on, this is not happening. I said to him, I said, this is not happening. So we left it to him, and I literally, I'd say a day or two later, they'd say, yeah, we're running. What you need to do is sign the contract, and we're off. And that was amazing. So we did sit down because we sat down as a family to think where we want to go. Do we want to turn pro at the moment? Do we want to stay amateur and do the GB route? Because he had the GB assessment as well booked.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, okay. And I think it was the exact right time.
For me, I always wanted to turn pro. No matter what I did in the amateurs, I always wanted to turn pro, and it was just a bonus getting someone like Frank Warren.
Yeah. It's going to be a big platform for you when you can get out there.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy though, for it to just happen so fast.
Madness.
Especially in lockdown. Yeah. Like I've been fighting for 5 years and notes never come up. But as soon as lockdown happened, just come up. Yeah.
Come through, definitely come through. And see, I've had him sparring pro since 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for that experience, and you push the boat, don't you? Go on, let me. And lucky enough, and it respect to the guys who did kind of, because normally they'll say, "Oh, he's amateur," not forget. But we've been in there with the pros, and I knew, when he matures a bit, I think he'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's an exact right time, definitely. Enjoys the pro sparring.
Yeah. We had Ahmed Gaz, and he said the same thing. He was like amateur for a while, and he was like, "I just want to turn pro. My style's much better for it."
Yeah.
Is that what you feel? You feel
I think
like
3 rounds in enough
Yeah.
as an amateur. Like for me, I was always like 3 rounds were like, oh, everything was rushed. I did well as an amateur, but for me, I think when everyone's gonna see me properly as a pro, they're gonna see like the talent that I actually have. But people haven't really seen what I'm capable of as an amateur, even though I won a lot. But as a pro, I think that's gonna come out hopefully.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So obviously we're still in like it's still a lockdown, right? So
Yeah.
shows are starting to happen, which is good. Like we're seeing Frank had a good show the other week, and Eddie Hearn as well. He's done a couple of shows now. So have you got any indication of when you will be fighting, or what kind of timeline, or have you had any conversations like that?
No, I think obviously I need to go see Frank before anything else, do my medical, and I think they want me back when the first show, I don't know, maybe one of the first few shows when the crowds come back. So, but I'm taking over anyway. I'm always sparring, always training. So yeah, whenever they're ready.
Yeah, you must be fucking buzzing to get in there.
Just I want to show Frank what I can actually do. No one's really, I don't think no one's really seen as an amateur what I've done there, but I'm capable of being, I think, going to the top.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. World champion.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
I think, and I've said it for a while. I'm not saying it because he's my son, even though I have to, because he makes me feel like. I think he's had that ability, and I mean, I've had him. I put him in open class championships, 3 bouts, I think it was. And he's holding his own with guys with 30, 40 bouts. His first junior final, we got to final, beat everyone. And again, boxing lads, 30, 40 bouts, giving away a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And he was there, he could hold his own, you know what I mean? And I thought, yeah. Just matter of time. And again, every amateur kind of looks for you want that Frank Warren, and you want the the big names, and someone must be looking out for us up there.
Yeah, man.
It come through. Sometimes you'll have the ability, but it don't work out.
That's it. Do you know what we speak to a lot of people, and then we've kind of tried to immerse ourselves in like at least like this local boxing scene, so like Leeds, Bradford area, and get to know people. And there's some fucking amazing talent, but they even just some people are struggling to sell tickets. So it's like you say, it is a blessing.
I think you just need that breakthrough to get to like one of the big promoters and that.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. You get there, take that opportunity, and it's you can kind of skyrocket. And he won't. Frank's he's good. He won't rush you. Look what he did with like Anthony Yard. He got him all the way to a world title. Stuff like that. So definitely. It's fantastic. So I mean, it would have been good for you to have a date to give us, but it's great to make it.
When we have that date, we're back here if you want us.
The door is always open.
You know how it is. I've been watching you guys, and again, big respect for you guys, because it's putting a lot of Yorkshire guys and a lot of fighters and a lot of boxers on the scene.
Yeah, man.
And he's brilliant. It's good to be on here.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's good to meet people, and we find that when we meet them, we want to go watch people fight. When you fight, we definitely want to grab some tickets and come down there. So we'll move on to the second part of the show. A bit more fun. So first topic is, I know Julian, I want to talk about this anyway, is Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson fighting each other. So what's your opinion on that?
For me, I believe they both passed it. They both passed their prime, definitely. But I never got to see Mike Tyson in action. So even though he's not even nowhere close to being his prime, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. But I just want to see how if he can still take a punch at that age. I think that's the main. Well, both of them actually, they're both old. That's gonna make the difference in the fight, I believe.
Yeah. So put you on the spot. Who's gonna take it?
I've got to stick to Mike Tyson.
I Mike.
Come on.
Oh wow. I grew up in an era.
You must have seen them both in their
I've
prime,
seen
right?
them all, yeah, absolutely.
In their prime.
In the prime.
Okay, so in their prime, Roy and Mike.
Oh,
Who
no,
wins?
no, don't say anything.
Yeah, I can do it, man. It's our show, man.
Oh wow. Pound for pound, you mean?
Say they're both at heavyweight. Roy Jones prime is at heavyweight, and obviously Mike's at heavyweight.
I'm
Who
gonna
wins?
go with Tyson.
Yeah.
You was always a Tyson.
I'm not gonna use the word idolized him, but everything was about Mike Tyson. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I done bit boxing. I trained. Been training for years, and everything was. Let's see what he's about. Studied him, watched him for years and years.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go against him.
Yeah.
Because he was on his peak. He was amazing.
Yeah.
On his peak, he was amazing. And then again, Roy Jones. You can't disrespect him because he was an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Tyson.
Yeah.
I
You were
think,
saying this the other day, like you were actually a bit concerned that Roy Jones might actually get like hurt because there's videos of Mike hitting pads and stuff now,
Yeah.
and he looks fucking
See, that's
phenomenal.
what I'm saying. Like, Mark's looking good, but will he be able to take a punch? When Roy hits him, it's gonna. I think it'll change when he hits him though. But I'm still sticking with Tyson though.
Yeah, and Roy's boxed. He actually boxed a lot longer, didn't he?
Yeah,
Like
he
he
did,
boxed.
yeah.
He's boxed into his maybe even like 2-3 years ago. He had professional fights.
He went up to heavyweight, didn't he? Did Roy Jones?
Yeah,
I don't think he'll trouble him. I think he's clever enough.
Mm.
He's one of them fighters who could. He'll handle it. He'll handle it. He's so clever and he's so skillful. I know Tyson brings that ferociousness and that aggression, but I think Royal is clever. He's not. He's a very clever boxer. I think he'll deal with it. Yeah, I think he'll deal with it. Yeah. To be honest, if I'm gonna, Mike Tyson is my man. But I can see Roy Jones doing a good job.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know what? Either way, as well, everyone's been like, "Oh, what they're doing, why they're fighting," but we're all gonna watch it, aren't we?
I see it. I see
We're
that
all
bit
gonna
of
watch
it. If I'm gonna really talk, it's like the past the prime,
Mm.
but just to see him back in, it's so exciting. It's so exciting because you've seen these guys growing up and they're the elite of the elite, pound for pound amongst the best ever, both of them.
Yeah.
And just to see him in the ring and just move around is worth a while.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%. All right, so next one is it was only yesterday. Dylan White got mandated to fight the winner of Wilder Fury. So I'm gonna go out there and say that we already know who's gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
Because the last one wasn't even close. Can White even do anything to? Can he cause an upset? Basically, that's what I'm asking you. Could Dylan White upset Tyson Fury? Who wants to go first?
I think. Firstly, Wilder's still got a puncher's chance.
He does. Yeah, you are right, mate.
So if he does land, then it could be lights out. But White's a good boxer, and he's got a good left hook. But I think Fury is just different level to all of these. Anthony Joshua. I just think there won't be anyone beating him, unless he fights when he's past his prime. I don't see anyone beating him.
Yeah, for sure.
I've always been a Fury fan anyway, though.
Yeah, he's
I'm a bit
sick,
biased,
man. Yeah, he's sick.
I think same. I like Tyson Fury, and I think he'll have too much. He'll use his jab nicely and his boxing skills. But I'm glad. What's his name?
Dylan White.
I'm glad he's getting a chance.
Yeah, he's been number one for like 1,000 days now.
And I think he deserves it.
Fucking crazy.
He deserves it. I like him. As a person and all, he's got that wild touch about him, and I like that. But I don't think he'll beat Fury.
Nah, I think it's unlikely. I think it's unlikely.
Yeah.
And then we're all waiting for Fury Joshua, aren't we? Really, that's what we all want to see.
What do you think to that one then?
I still think Fury again, but I think Fury's probably at most. He's at the most risk, more risk than he was against Wilder, because AJ is actually technically he's not that bad.
Yeah.
And
Are you same with?
Yeah, I'm saying Fury on that one.
Then again, the way he fought Andy Ruiz, the way he boxed were beautiful.
Yeah, he got. Do you know what? We were watching it, and
Masterclass.
people around us were just like, he's running away, and we were just like, he literally he stood toe to toe with him, and he got knocked out. What do you want him to do?
Absolutely.
Do you want him to just go in there, try fight inside with this little chubby Mexican that's got rapid hands? It's
People who
pointless.
don't watch boxing, they say that they say that about Floyd, but people who watch boxing know of boxing. That was a beautiful performance by AJ.
Yeah, he didn't get touched, did he?
No.
100%.
Didn't get touched.
And I think the quality of a great fighter is how they can adapt to different styles. I think that says a lot about a boxer. And he adapted, and he were on. That's what I loved about him. Listen, end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. This is how I'm gonna win the fight. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm with the pleasing the crowd and stuff, but it's a job that he had to do, and he done it.
Yeah.
And good on him really. Because if he fought him, and ego took over and he fought him, I think he would have.
Same again, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And you make a good point about Mayweather. Like he has the I think he has a blueprint for every boxer. Is get out with as much money as possible and as healthy as you can. Because he didn't want to get hit and he wanted to make bank, and he did both.
But then if you look at it, when he used to call himself Pretty Boy Floyd, he used to take risks. He used to knock people out. The people don't see that though. That's what I always say. Why are you looking at, like, he had both styles. When he got older, he adapted. Make him miss, make him pay. When he was a younger, he was aggressive, knocking him out. What do you want? What else do you want?
Yeah.
You can't win, can you?
Nah, do you know what? You can't. That's it. It's full of opinions. Like we have a show and we talk about it, and there's tons of opinions. But you're right. Like people that don't box or don't watch a lot of boxing or whatever, they just go just have a fight. So all right, you go and have a fight with him.
Yeah. I think with certain certain boxers, as they age, they lose certain abilities. Some might they lose maybe the instinct, and it's developing around that. So I've lost my instinct. What do I do to get around that to beat these fighters? And the great ones can do it. Yeah, man.
100%. All right, so we're gonna put you on the spot now. Some more questions.
Boom.
I'm gonna take it to Julian.
So we'll start with you, Amaar. So who is your top? We're not going to do top three anymore. We're going to go top one, top pound for pound fighter. Who you've looked up to?
Definitely
can
Floyd.
be dead or alive.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd.
I've watched all his fights, studied all his fights, and definitely. But not just inside the ring. I study him outside the ring. The businessman he is and all. Now we're in the pro game. You got to think about that too. It's not just inside the ring. He's just a smart man overall.
100%.
We can testify to that. We've seen it. We meet a lot of boxers in and out. It's what you do in the ring matters, but also how you carrying yourself outside of the ring. How you promoting yourself.
Yeah. I think for us as well, but for us it's kind of we're in a new game. Like I say, I've been in amateur game. We started in the amateur game and learnt that, and now we're in the program and it's learning that. And because we're not fighting, a lot of it is building the profile and getting himself out there, and I think it's important getting the right kind of profile out. You know what I mean, and knowing where we're going with it.
Yeah, do you know 100%? We've sat with most of the boxers around here, and like we've spoke to Josh Warrington a couple of times and this sort of stuff, and it is important, like, get that profile out there. Look at Josh, like he was always able to fight in Leeds pretty much nearly all his career because he had that fan base, that profile in his local area, and that kind of giving that platform. So you're right, man, it is important. And just to go back to Floyd, I used to love watching like the All Access 24/7 stuff. What he did against like Canelo, Garcia, Guerrero, they were just class. They were so good, and it give you like an insight. Like he's running at fucking 3 a.m. Just like, all right, I'm putting my shoes on, I'm running.
His whole routine were different to like normal people boxers. Like he'd be training at 3 in the morning, sparring at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas we'd be sparring at like in the afternoon, evening. Like,
Yeah.
it's completely different. Something new though.
Yeah,
Good
it's,
though,
yeah, it was interesting to watch, man.
I think with Floyd, I mean, I like him as a boxer, but and before his business, I think going back to where he come from, for me that strikes above everything else, because he come from a troubled background, if I can say that.
Yeah.
And there were a lot going on. And coming from that background and earning all that money, he's still hungry now.
That's right.
Still,
That's right.
You give me a few $1 million, I'm out of here.
Yeah, man.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
saying,
yeah,
you won't see me again.
No. You get me in, get in gym. I'm not having it. Listen. But someone like Floyd coming
Keeping
from
that
where he
hunger,
is, and having that hunger,
Mm.
because over the years we've seen it all. We've seen Ali, we've seen the Tysons, the Holyfields. Everybody lose the money. Even before then, lose the money. Oh, he's bankrupt. He's having to fight. Hey, this guy invested, and if you asked him to fight now, he'd do it.
Yeah,
and he's still hungry, and that's amazing.
that's it.
As a personality, that's amazing.
I think you're right, man. 100%. Like he gets stick, but I think he's probably he's pound for pound, like you say,
Definitely.
one of the greats.
Yeah, he
100%
gets stick.
for everything as well. The whole total package, man.
The whole package, yeah.
Like I used to go clubbing and that, and they say, oh, you used to get like loads of drinks and stuff like that, but I guarantee you never touched one drink. He still says it. I never drunk. You'll never see. He says you'll never see me drinking. But he just used to show that to the people out there, all access, 24/7.
Yeah.
Money and people bought it.
People bought into it. People bought into it.
Yeah.
Like fucking the best example is Brona, right? He thought he could actually go party, train, and fucking win, and it found him out in the end.
And he lost it. This guy, he played it. He played. Everyone bought into the Mayweather image, and it's amazing. And on top of it, he's successful.
Yeah, man.
I'd have that. I'll have that all day long.
Take that, Mayweather. Boom. Second question: in the ring, who's been your toughest spar so far? Would you say?
Well, you can give us a few, man.
Loads. There's Tyrone Nurse. I've sparred him over the years. He's slick, very good fighter. Avanesian is the best I've sparred and all. So he's tough, strong. There's a few. Who else do you think would give me a tough spar? You sparred so many people. I can't really.
Yeah. I think they're probably toughest because
They're top two. Yeah.
Tyrone Ness.
Yeah. Well, because technically, or like, what is it about them?
It's just with Tyrone, he's just slick. Like he can hit you from all angles. But with the Avanesian, he's just strong. He just comes forward, and it's something different. Like he's got a European style, like a bit like Golovkin. He's got a bit like a Golovkin style, just strong, comes forward, hooks. Yeah, I'd say they're toughest.
Yeah. I mean, Tyrone, you're someone you can't switch off with. You fall asleep and he'll clip you.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta. It's more. I'd say it's quite draining, isn't it?
Yeah.
Draining mentally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be like on it all the time, and you come out like drained because you can't switch off.
It's like you think you're not in range, like you'll start relaxing, you won't be in range, and then all of a sudden it'll just pop you, and you're like, oh, didn't think you hit me from there. It's like one of them, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's why you got to switch on, like however many rounds you do, you got to switch on all the time.
And with Avanesian, he was strong. You fall asleep and he's putting you to sleep. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's that different kind of. He had that strength and the kind of roughness about him. And,
How do you deal with a rough fighter? How do you deal with it? I always wonder, like when I watch someone, like, say Golovkin in his prime, I could not imagine having someone like one, he's got that power, right? And then two, he's kind of walking you down, but he cuts a ring as well. He's not walking in a straight line to you. He's cornering you. He's pressuring you without even touching you.
There's few. I think there's a few options. I think like you can, whatever he's doing, like you can do. He's coming forward. You can try put him on the back foot, mess with his brain a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes like getting them in clinches, frustrating them, and then do your work boxing them, and then obviously just box the head off.
Yeah, nice.
That's the easiest
That'll work,
way,
man.
I'd say.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I like
like the thing. Many people will see how certain boxers they can pressure you, but without throwing a punch.
Yeah.
You know, like you just mentioned,
Mm.
they're on you, they haven't touched you, but the guy who's on the other side of it is falling apart.
Mm.
And I think at that point is when you need to stay cool.
Mm.
Yeah. So we've had it a few times where when we first started boxing pros, and you were used to amateurs, pop, 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 and next thing you know, second round you're like, oops, I'm gassing here. This guy's just warming up,
Yeah.
and that invisible pressure, that's what I call it. And I think you just need to be a bit calm when they're coming at you. Still be aware of what's happening, rather than you have the other guys kind of burning nervous energy almost.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and by the time you've come out of that round, although not what's happened, they're like, wow, I'm blown.
Yeah.
So
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
last question: if you can lay out any celebrity, who would it be?
I'd want to beat Floyd Mayweather just to say he's 50-0. Get a payday firstly, and then take the.
Mate, if you're 50 and 1, I'd have that on a
50
t-shirt the
and
rest of my
one.
life, man. I'd have it tatted on me.
I think that's the best one as a boxer. Definitely, I'd aim to beat him.
Yeah, sick answer to be fair. Take that spot. Go on. Who've you got?
My best.
One celebrity you want to KO?
But Boris Johnson, I'm knocking him out. Can I say that?
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
no,
yeah.
no,
Boris is a fan of the show.
Oh,
though,
yeah.
he was. Sorry, mate.
Love you, Boris, but I'm gonna knock you out.
All right, sick boys. Do you know, that was an absolute pleasure, man. It's great to meet you.
No, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on. We'll definitely have you back in. And
If people want to find your socials as well,
Yeah,
where can they go for that?
Instagram, Amaar the Prodigy, and Twitter, Amaar the Prodigy.
Sick.
And can I just give a big shout out to my sponsor, Emojis, opening in Dewsbury. So all the after parties will be in Emojis, yeah.
Emojis. Where's that? Sorry
It's
again.
just
In
Dewsbury Town,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a new brand of it's a new brand of it's like a burger joint, and they're doing it up really nice.
all right, we'll
again,
be there, man.
You know, like us for athletes, he's a full-time athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having them sponsors on board. You know, we can say we want to become world champion, but it don't happen if there's no one there backing you.
Yeah, man.
And it's only fair for us to, you know, give him a little shout out.
100%. Get yourself down there, Dewsbury.
Yeah, emojis, guys. That's where it's happening.
Nice.